Dexy, I know you're gonna kill this shit.
Yo, people, what you telling me? Back again with another one. Footy Talk settings. Monts, what's good, my bro?
All good, man. All good. Just taking in what's going on in the footballing world right now. Another embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? Another embarrassment for Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? I'm told man about promiscuous junior. You know what I'm saying? That fake Brazilian and nothing for his nation. You know what I'm saying? Cries and tries. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the same energy. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the same energy. It's giving Brazilian NPC.
You know what killed me though? Bruv, the celebration, bro.
Oh, same as Garnacho.
Bro, them man are down how many and man celebrating like that? It's like, bro, allow it, man. It's over.
It's mad. Like they was onto something.
What you did?
Like he was onto something. No shit. It's the same as you tucking in his shirt, bro.
Bro, shame is free, you know.
It's crazy.
It's free of charge, fam. A man's moving around like that. It's crazy, man. I mean, big up the chat though. Do you know what I mean? No, we have to get we have to get into the conversations, bro. Because I've been telling man about these frauds, blood, at Madrid. And the thing is, as a Liverpool fan, you know firsthand. Do you know what I mean? How it feels, yeah, to be slapping up Real Madrid and come out on the wrong side of the result. Like these things happen. Do you know what I'm saying? And it happens to a lot of teams. And this is probably the first time that they've got what's coming to them, bro. Because like man said last season, man remember the Leipzig game, man remember the Dortmund game. I think a couple seasons ago, Dortmund were absolutely spliffing them. The City game, bro. Like they've been doing this to teams, you know. They've been like, if Declan Rice didn't score them 2 free kicks, Arsenal would have ended up going out, you know. That's what would have ended up happening because Real Madrid would have found a way to scumbag it, bro. They would have. Like, and on another day, yeah, the penalties given yesterday as well. You know them ones. Like on another day, bro. Like things did go for
if that penalty was what 88th minute, I think it's getting given.
Yeah, but even so, like the fact that it wasn't given at the Bernabeu, that's weird because we're used to seeing teams get robbed there. You know, like that
all the time.
We're used to seeing it. So it's almost like Perez never paid. He never paid that down payment, bro. Do you know what I mean? The check must have bounced, bro, because, bro, the amount of time they took to make that decision at Real Madrid and my man went against the grain. And to be fair, if one of them are penalties, they're both penalties, isn't it? I don't think either of them were pens, but the fact that Real Madrid's one wasn't given at Real Madrid, it's like rare. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I just look at the tactics, man, and as I said, they've done the Harlem Globetrotters thing. And you go back 20 years ago when Beckham fucked off, you know, and he was supposed to be the final piece of the puzzle, and then things there. And what did they win? How many Champions League did they win with that star-studded team? None. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing, bro. It didn't work because you need balance. When Hosselu was there, and I'm not saying Hosselu is the reason why he won everything, but when they had a number 9, do you know what I'm saying? And 2 wingers that were willing to facilitate, when they were more balanced.
Balance, my bro.
It's just simple balance. When Brahim Diaz is naturally playing on the right and not having to shoehorn Rodrigo on the right, balance conquers all. All you need is a bit of balance. Do you know what I'm saying?
We've seen that at PSG as well.
Lamar Lewandowski and Rafinha, I will take that front 3 all day long over Vinny, Mbappe, and Rodrigo. All day long. I'm taking Barcelona's front 3 because there's balance. That's all you need. How about this? Arsenal's front 3 was more balanced than Real Madrid's, and that's Marino, Saka, and Martinelli.
VFX.
Because it's balanced. That's the bottom line. Martinelli didn't look too different from Vinny Jr., and that's saying something. That's saying something.
It's facts, bro. Look at this, bro. How could, bro? They lost Mbappe on a free and ended up coming out on the better side of the deal.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at these games, yeah, and obviously there's been a lot of Declan Rice world-class shouts, Saka world-class shouts. I've always said Saka's on the cusp, but I don't think he's world-class. I don't think Declan Rice is world-class either, but I think they're doing very well and they deserve their plaudits. I think Partey is the one who should be getting a lot of the plaudits. I think Partey has been one of the best. I mean, they're going to miss him against PSG in that first leg at the Emirates, but I think Partey is the one who probably hasn't got maybe all the plaudits he probably deserves over the 2 legs. Rice will obviously take the headlines. He's had 2 good games against Real Madrid, which is massive. And I still feel like from an Arsenal perspective, I've got to be balanced. What they've done to Real Madrid is one of the best results you've seen in Champions League history over the years.
It is results-wise. It is 100%.
Results-wise. You look at Man City's one a couple of years ago. That one's up there as well. You know, you look at Liverpool's one over Madrid in 2009. 5-0 over 2 legs. That one's up there as well. But I've given you 2 results over the last 15 years, 16 years. So that will tell you how significant beating Madrid is over 2 legs, 5-1. I'm not really hearing. I know Madrid are class. I know they're crap. I know they've been shown levels by multiple teams this year, including my own. Do you know what I'm saying? I've showed them levels, but
this year they've been poor in general, bruv. Even in the
poor
league.
in general. But you still have to get the job done because guess what? Real Madrid have been poor in general in other years. It's just that because it was a while ago, people actually haven't really remembered it. Real Madrid are not La Liga's finest. They've won 4 La Ligas in the last like 15 years.
Yeah, but this
I might be wrong.
No, you're not far wrong. But here's the thing, bro.
Yeah, so
like the reason why I'm giving Arsenal credit, is because Real Madrid have been stinky for ages, but they still get away with it, and Arsenal didn't let them off the hook. You know them ones. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Because
it's
make
very
no
difficult.
mistakes about it. This was a poor Real Madrid team, yeah. And not only were they a poor Real Madrid team, yeah, it didn't take a great performance to beat them. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't one of them things where I was like, yo, this is some scintillating stuff and whatever. Like, it was an exciting game because, like, the first game, it was exciting because the game was in the balance. Whereas before, if Real Madrid were at the level that you would expect them to be at, the game shouldn't have looked like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was very entertaining from a neutral standpoint, but Real Madrid's actual level was poor. Do you know what I mean? I don't think well, it's impossible that we saw the best Arsenal because they had so many players missing. Do you know what I'm saying? But we didn't have to see the best Arsenal for them to dispatch of Real Madrid. And I think that speaks volumes about where Real Madrid are right now. Because Gabriel's a big player for Arsenal.
Wasn't there?
Now, Jesus is a big player for them. Havertz is a big player for them. He is, whether we like him or not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they've quite some big attackers are just not there, and it didn't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? And this was near. I know Real Madrid had injuries, but I believe that Real Madrid's injuries should have been in positions that they could manage a bit better. Do you know what I mean? Like, Arsenal lost most of their firepower and still managed to dispatch of Real Madrid.
They put Marino up top. They put Marino up top and beat them 5-1, bro. That in itself.
Cool, there was 2 free kicks. 2 of the goals were free kicks and that, whatever. But the point is, Real Madrid were hanging on for their life in the first leg, bro. They were holding on for their life, bro. Clearing shots off the line, goalkeepers making saves. They could have scored 6 goals. They could have scored 6 goals in open play in the first game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this thing about Arsenal being set up tactically perfectly, I just think Arsenal set up the way they always set up, bro. And their style was just too wrong. It was just all wrong for Real Madrid. That's all it was. Like, you know what Arsenal are gonna do? They're gonna be tough to break down. They're gonna get amongst you. They're quite a physical team now. That's how Arteta's kind of remodeled them. And Real Madrid couldn't match their physicality anywhere. In the midfield, they could. In the midfield, they couldn't match their physicality. On the ball, Real Madrid weren't good enough. They weren't at the usual level. They're not the level of the Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro level, bro. It's nowhere near that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Modric is an old man.
And you have to look at, do you know what it is? And you have to look at your styles in the sense that I was watching Madrid play and everything was going to the wide areas. And this is what I say when I say styles make fights. That was perfect. I generally think Real Madrid would struggle against certain Premier League sides. Because Arsenal aren't the only team that's set up like that. If you look at when we played Real Madrid, we set up like that. We set up in a way at times where when it was time for them to break us down, we sat in 2 banks of 4.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing niche because they don't have a striker. So therefore, you know, they're trying to fire in these low crosses. They're trying to look at these one-on-one. They're trying to isolate the one-on-ones, but because they're not moving the ball fast enough in midfield to isolate Mbappe with one defender or to isolate Rodrigo with one defender, they're forced to cross the ball. And crossing the ball against Arsenal's back line is pointless.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, there's no point. Arsenal's box defending is magnificent.
Especially aerial crosses.
Yeah, you know, the aerial ones. I'm talking specifically about the aerial crosses.
Yeah.
So them man spamming crosses to who? Because Rudiger was having to go up front at large parts of that game. It was given desperate. It was given desperate, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who are they crossing the ball to? And this is what I mean when I say Arsenal's front three was more balanced than theirs.
It was.
Because if Arsenal crossing the ball, they have a target, man. They actually have an issue to deal with. They're looking to win the second balls. Odegaard's not at his best. No, as you said, they're missing firepower and no Gabriel. And they were still made Real Madrid look average.
Yeah.
So for the reason why, as I said, we can downplay Real Madrid, and I will continue to downplay Real Madrid because it's a fuck Madrid thing. You might know why. It's a fuck Madrid thing. But I'm giving Arsenal the credit because no one really had Arsenal beating Real Madrid anyway. So
that's where I am. That's where I am. You have to give Arsenal the job credit for getting the job done, but we're not going to sit here and pretend that over 2 legs this Real Madrid team were any good. Like, even at home they weren't good. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a thing where Arsenal stopped them from playing. They weren't good. They just weren't good. Like, do you know what I'm saying? There was no quality from them at any moment over those 2 legs. Like, in what moments of quality can we remember from Real Madrid at all, bro? Over 180 minutes. None.
No,
It was
literally, again, if anything was gonna happen, it was from an Arsenal mistake. It was never gonna be
facts.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? It was never ever gonna be like a well-worked goal, or it was only gonna be a set piece or Arsenal mistake. And that just shows. And this is where, like, when I speak about the Salah thing, I understand there's Liverpool bias there. I have a bias towards Salah to an extent. But when I talk about Salah, I talk about Salah in a certain way, Rants, because not just Salah as well. You can say Lewandowski now. You put Lewandowski there. You know what I'm saying? You can put Benzema there in his final parts as well. When I'm talking about these guys, when you're 32, bro, yeah, and when certain men are 26, 27, I'm not trying to hear the same arguments at times. Do you know what I'm saying? As I said, I use this. These are
different stages of their careers. For
these
sure.
are young Thundercats, So you see when I'm seeing Mbappe stink up the flipping gap, and I'm seeing Vinny skying penalties, getting hooked, and doing F and all for 3-4 games. Now, I'm all for the Salah slander because I hold him to this level. But if people hold Vinny to a higher level than Salah, so I'm gonna need the same energy and more energy because he's young. He's 26,
which is fair.
He's 26. What are we doing? What are we doing here? And he's playing in a league that, listen, even though the league has higher technical quality, you're afforded more space as a winger, and you're still not winning titles like Barcelona. Barcelona are broke and getting more gal than you. Man are pulling up after the club in a night tech and getting more gal than you domestically. This is Barcelona's league, and they've been through. Xavi come there, won the league, and he got spoken about like he was a scrub. Literally 6 months later. You see what I'm saying? Like Hansi Flick was talked about like he was a scrub because he come from Germany, because he didn't do it with Germany. You had Kai Havertz and Timo Werner up front, and an agent and them man there. He come back and look what he's probably gonna win the league. Probably gonna win the league. Now, granted, Madrid won the league last season. Granted, of course. But if you watch La Liga, if you know La Liga, Real Madrid, this is not Real's era.
Yeah, Barca have been slapping fades for a minute. They have.
Yeah, bro. Atletico have got a couple leagues in there. You know what I'm saying? So when we're really looking at it, domestically, Barcelona have had their financial issues. They don't sign the Galacticos. No one tell me Lewandowski was a Galactico. He was aging. He is aging. He's 34. I think he's 35. He's 35.
They signed him past his best. I think they signed him at 33. So I think he's 35.
Signed him at 33. So how old is he now? Yeah, I'll double check.
I think he's at 35, bro.
If he's 35, I swear to God, bro. Hold on. He's 36. He's 37 this year. He's 37 this year.
Bro.
He's 37 in August. He's 37 in August.
That's incredible.
He's on 40 goals. Is it him? Am I looking at Lewandowski? Or am I looking at Di Natale? Who am I looking at right now? I can't tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? And some of the stuff I was hearing about Lewandowski early, when it was Yamal and Rafinha balling out at the start of the season, yeah? And Lewandowski was kind of on the end of things. I was hearing a lot of slander on his name as well, Nah,
but you know what it was, yeah? Hansi Flick came in and it was perfect for him. Before Hansi Flick came in, it was looking like he was struggling a little bit. No fault of his own.
Yeah, he's 35.
Yeah, but it's not even the age, bro. The style just wasn't suiting him.
Yeah,
but the age is the first thing people are gonna go to.
And I'm pretty sure, he got 20 goals last season. I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure he got 20. He got 19 goals last season, and it didn't suit him. That is not suiting. 19 goals. 19 goals. The same shit they were sucking off Vinny for. He even get 19 goals. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing here? This is what I mean when I'm talking about pulling up in a night tech and taking your gal with the bare minimum. And I'm not saying Lewandowski is the bare minimum. He's a world-class striker. He's an all-time great. You get it? For me, he's won a Ballon d'Or in my eyes. I don't care if they cancelled it. He won a 6-tuple and broke Gerd Muller's record. He won a Ballon d'Or in my eyes. I don't give a monkey, man. I don't give monkeys in it. Yeah. But brother, signing Lewandowski past his best, an example. Rafinha was not looked at as a Galactico signing. Chelsea and Arsenal wanted him, yes. But when there was even questions, there were question marks about Rafinha because there was a love story going on with Nico Williams after the Euros. Rafinha wasn't the guy before this year. Go and look in your archives. Rafinha wasn't the guy. He's become the guy this year. So Rafinha wasn't really the guy. Lewandowski was signed past his age, and Yamal is a teenager. As good as he is, as world beater that he is for his age, he's a teenager, right? You know what I'm saying? Yamal's a teenager. So you're putting all this together. Your midfield, Gavi was a massive part of that midfield, injured. Rate him or you don't rate him. Pedri, we know what Pedri's about. Do you know what I'm saying? Frankie de Jong, in and out the team through injury. They brought through Cabrasi in defense. Araujo is kind of rated. I rate him, but he had a bad season last year. He has his things. You know what I'm saying? The left back, Koundé, sometimes very good, sometimes very shit.
No, more times very shit, bro. He's awful.
Bus, did he get an ACL? Was it an ACL that Sagan got? Bust his leg. So. But bust his leg. Who comes in? They go and get Szczesny past his best. I'm pretty sure out of retirement, someone's gonna have to.
Yep. Out of retirement, he was retired. Yeah, correct.
This is the difference. And Real Madrid just doing this. With no tactics. They don't deserve anything. They don't deserve anything. This is what I mean. They don't deserve nothing. These man pulled up in a night tech and talk the talk, while them man have hella bottles and still can't get no bitches. This is the modern thing that people get. That you cover the wood with the eyes. You're covering the wood with the eyes. This is good management. Hansi Flick is good management. That's real management. Diego Simeone, that's real management. Whether you like their style or not, Atletico Madrid do not park the bus. They park the bus against the top teams. If you watch them week in, week out, which I don't all the time, I bet I'm not promoting gambling. I've watched them against the smaller so-called teams. They knock the ball around, bro. They kick ball. And they don't have Carrasco no more, by the way. Everyone knows that. For those who don't, you know what I'm saying? With and without Carrasco before he's left and was balling out to the age that he was balling out at. So, as I said, CR7 won 2 leagues with these man. Don't let these men fool you, Champions League is what they've lived off. Can credit to them.
100%. That's their bread and butter. Yeah. And even when they've won the Champions League, they haven't won it playing well.
Yeah, this is my point. So I will never downplay the Champions League. It's the biggest, most prestigious trophy in world football. If Arsenal win the Champions League, they've done you get it. Top. No questions. Yeah. There's no bias there. But this pedestal that Real Madrid are on, I'm annoyed that it had to be Arsenal, but I'm glad it happened.
I'm glad it happened regardless. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, football needed it. It just had to be at the hands of Arsenal Football Club. Do you know what? Fair dues, bro. It had to happen. Now, I'm not saying every single player is shit and they're crap and they're absolutely Yes, they've played crap, but I'm just saying, yeah, the fundamentals of football have shown through La Liga. You get it? Barcelona, I just named you, Rants, Barcelona's whole 11 and their manager and the adversities they've had to face without spending a mad amount of money because they're brought down. But they've still managed to carve out their style of play, remain like their philosophy has remained the same with La Masia. They beat Real Madrid in their backyard with 6 academy graduates in their starting 11 in their own backyard. If Liverpool went and beat City at the Etihad, I'm talking 99-point City. If Liverpool went and beat the best City with 6 academy graduates, do you know the rumblings it would make? Do you understand the rumblings that would cause in the UK? That's what I'm trying to understand that in Spain, to understand how amplified that. It will never be amplified over here because it's another country. But understand how tapped that is. So I'm not hearing Real Madrid chat. I'm not hearing it. Spend all the money you want. Get all the Galacticos you want. If you're not going to balance your team, it doesn't matter. And just hold these players accountable. Because how dare you throw your toys out the pram and not turn up to a ceremony because you thought you didn't deserve X, Y, and Z, when the philosophy of what's being brought up and whatnot is all of this nothingness. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, look, bro, I'm telling you, don't win your league like that. You don't win your league like that. You don't. You used to with the Stefano and Raul and them man there, but in the 2000s, you don't win your league like that, bro. This is nothing to do with Trent and the amount of times you man cross the ball. Maybe I see why you lot want Trent. You know what I'm saying? I understand it now. You know what I'm saying? So for me, they need a big refresh in the sense of they need to refresh their balance, get rid of big names. People need to be humbled. It is what it is. The longer you play this Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo front line with no balance, the longer you're going to see stupidness, because any low block these man come up against, you're going to see stinky football. Because I don't know what I can't tell. You couldn't tell me what Real Madrid's style of play is. No one here can tell me what the style of play is.
The way to nullify Real Madrid. If you look at Real Madrid, yeah, they're a transition team. They're a mid-block and transition team, bro. They play like a shit version of Aston Villa, bro. That's how they play.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the difference is, yeah, when you don't give them space in behind to transition, Vinny, Rodrigo, and Mbappe, bro, that front three, what are they going to do, bro? What are they actually going to do, bro? It's one of them ones where Rodrigo, if he was centrally, he could maybe do more. But Vinny and Mbappe against low blocks are scary. Scary. Nothing's happening, mate.
It's spooky, bro.
Terrible. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where Carlo, you know what's so funny about Real Madrid? They went out last night and there's already chat of him leaving after the Copa del Rey. These men don't play. This is what I rate about Real Madrid, though. The one thing I rate about them is that, brother, it's immediate.
Oh, Rants, they're the final form Chelsea. You know this. They're the final form of Abramovich Chelsea. They're final form Chelsea. Higher and fire.
It's that, bro. Literally. It was last night, you know.
Yeah.
Like Carlo Ancelotti's mattress is still warm, you know, from waking up in the morning, and they're telling man that he's leaving.
Yeah, the pattern of his face is still creased in his pillow.
It's crazy. It's crazy, you know.
It's dark. It's dark. Real dark. Beds, bro, it's 2:34. What time is it in Spain?
Yeah, it'll be an hour ahead. Yeah.
Hour ahead. Yeah, bro. It's 3:34 over there.
It's mad.
You know what I'm saying? They're the final form Chelsea, bro. That's what it is. Super Saiyan Chelsea, bro. Same mode Chelsea. That's what they are. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with them. But they needed this. They needed
that humbling still.
Football needed this, man. You know what I'm saying? Football needed this. Like, I'm seeing 15 on the side of the top, and it's getting me hot. I can't like the 15 at the side there. That's a mad thing. So they'll always have an X amount of respect. But let's not act like they've been doing that. They have the most La Liga still. But boy.
Yeah, but for how long? You know,
how long? How
long, bro?
Barcelona have shown they don't need. I'm not saying Barcelona have never spent. I'm not saying they don't spend. But I'm saying Barcelona have done.
They've got an era of sustainability about them. They can just keep doing what they're doing because they're just printing ballers off, blood. It's like they're printing them.
They just head over to the photocopy machine and go get another. Do you get it? When we spoke about Jack Wilshere, there's 15 Jack Wilsheres in the academy right now. As we speak. They've got 10 Kobe Mainus a la Masia right now. Right.
Yeah, bro, you ain't lying.
Yes. You
ain't even lying, bro. It might be more than that. That's a scary thing.
Yeah. There's some that don't make it. There are Kobe Mainus probably playing in La Liga too.
Yeah.
Barcelona B in that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Barcelona B graduates are playing in the Prem. They're playing in the Prem.
It's mental.
Adama. You know what I'm saying? Onana.
Yeah, real talk. You got what's his name as well, the striker at Chelsea as well, that Mark Huey, bro, came from there.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
This is it. Barcelona B, they be printing. Cucurella. Am I not? Brother.
It's crazy.
They said have some because we got too many, kind of thing. We got too many. We got too many. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And you got guys over here falling in love with strippers, bro. I'm telling you right now. Their thing's different. It is different. You know what I'm saying? And we're out here falling in love with the scraps, falling in love with the strippers, bro. That's what's
it's nuts. Yeah, it's a dangerous game.
bro, Rants, you're there going, you better than this. You better than this. You know what I'm saying? Get down from there. Get down from this.
No, but man's like, how much you make doing this? You don't have to do this no more.
Get down from there. We gotta be doing all this.
It's crazy. Nah, bro, it's spooky, you know. It's spooky, bro.
Bro, it's different. It's
Samir, this thing here,
yeah.
You know what the wickedest thing is? You're saying the problem is not your attack, it's lack of creativity. It's both. Don't sleep. It's both. An attack of them three is never gonna thrive, no matter what is behind it, bro. You don't have the right profiles in attack, They don't complement each other. Vinny and Mbappe don't complement each other. Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vinny don't complement each other. Like, football's about synergy. There has to be, they have to complement each other, bro. Like, them three will never be a balanced attack, no matter what you put behind it. Yes, the midfield lacks creativity, but it also lacks control. You don't have anyone that can put their foot on the ball and control the tempo. You had Kroos to do that. You had Modric, your young Modric, to do that. Now you don't have that no more. You don't have that. And then on top of that, Modric can still control the game, but he can control the game at his own pace, which is 2 yards slower than it was 5-6 years ago, because he's an older man. So it's not just your attack, it's your midfield also, but it's both. It's absolutely both. Like, Jude Bellingham in the 10 is class, bro. For England and for Real Madrid, it's class.
Jude in the 10 is crazy, man. And man act like again, Szoboszlai in the 10, bro. This is it, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you say Jude's a centre back and you say Rice is a centre back?
Yeah.
That's what I say. I say Szoboszlai's a right back.
I hear it.
Right.
Szoboszlai will do his thing at right back, bro.
He's a right back.
He'll do his thing at right back. I'll be honest. He would do his thing.
You know what I'm saying? Cardiovascular activity, he's got these man thinking got man thinking these players can play anywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the old school cardiovascular guys were actually techie. Like, bro, James Milner, that's a real utility guy. Yeah. Stop making these athletes always the be all and end all of they can play anywhere. You see guys like James Milner and that. They're the man that can play everywhere because they got the mad intelligence to play left. I've seen James Milner play a whole season at left back.
Yeah, it's not just athleticism that makes you one of those players. It's the intelligence.
Exactly. I've seen James Milner play 7 positions, bro.
Yeah, but this is why, man. That's why I'm making a point of talking up what Marino's doing at Arsenal, because it's one of them things where these NPCs now are like, if you ain't got pace, you can't play up front. Look at what this player's doing. This guy's their slowest midfielder, bro. He might even be slower than Jorginho, bro. And this brother's mashing work, bro, up front in a team, where we were told that if you don't have pace, you can't be a striker, man.
It's mad. It's mad, bro.
That's what they told us,
bro. Look, and this is. Do you know what it is? It's like, it's even, and I know to liken it to FIFA is a crazy analogy for me, but it's like on FIFA.
No, but that's where these men are getting their football education from.
But man on FIFA, if you deep it, especially even at pro clubs and that, man play pro clubs properly, innit, I've seen guys on pro clubs make their striker 5'3" and have 99 pace. Now, granted, in some FIFAs, pace will be the metric, but I've also seen top clubs make their striker 6'2". Do you know what I'm saying? And just hold L2, and you'll just hold the defender like that. You just hold the defender, and if you move, they'll move. You know what? If I move this way, if he moves this way, I'm gonna go like this. If you try to get the ball the other way, I'm gonna go like this. And then you got the speedy wingers that go around. And that, I'm telling you right now, the lamppost striker thing on clubs is a tip, bro. And it works. And I know I'm not likening FIFA to real life, but I'm saying that some people look at football a certain way where it has to be pace. Attacks. Now, I'm not saying FIFA and football in real life. Just listen to what I'm saying for a second. I'm talking about the way people look at football. So they feel like you have to be 5'3" and the fastest guy on the pitch. When really, as you said, you can have a guy like Marino who isn't the fastest, or like a Giroud who isn't the fastest. Giroud didn't score a single goal.
Yeah, he's not the fastest, and he's not the most agile, but he just understands where to be.
Yeah, where to be. Look at Lewandowski. He's 30-6.
Yeah,
he is an uncle. He don't even do TikToks no more. He's an uncle. Lewandowski has creases in his face, bro. and he's bagging 40 plus. He don't look at Lautaro. Look at Lautaro. Speak about Lautaro however you want. Trivela outside of the
that finish was fuckery.
Yeah,
it was
and
nasty.
the brace in the second leg.
Yeah.
What's Lautaro? Is he Lautaro fast? No, he's not.
No,
is he fast? Is he even tall?
You're just a low center of gravity done. You get me?
Yeah. He's a Tevez with less aggression. And not as prolific.
Facts. Yeah.
You get it? He's the new gen he's like a new gen Tevez, bro. You see what I'm saying? He's just not as aggressive.
Yeah,
he's
just got energy.
Yeah, he's not a prick. He's not as much as a prick. You get it? But look at that finish. Trivela from the middle of the pit, from 25, brother, first time. And then to get a brace when your team's up against it, because you know where to be. Brother, I'm telling you right now. You don't have to have this Mbappe up top. Mbappe needs to be on the left. Put him on the left. Drop one of them.
And even on the left, it's only when he's cutting in and shooting. Like other than that, because he don't go down the outside. Like he only should play on the left because that's the only place he's really a goal threat.
He played on the left against Liverpool and you got Brack up. You got folded like a deck. You got Brack up, man. You got Brack up. You know what I'm saying? But at least he's playing where he's supposed to be playing, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you're gonna get, because it's all about whether you think a guy's good or not. It's all about where can I play them to get the best out of them, or how am I willing to sacrifice a player to get the best out of everyone else? You see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure certain players have certain qualities that they aren't always able to show because they're the catalyst to getting the best out of the rest of the team.
And also, it depends on the system they're playing in. And this is why I said at the very, very beginning, guys, and it's aged well, yeah. Joshua Zirkzee, now. It's aged well because now people are seeing his quality. But I said from the beginning, yeah, bro, the first thing I heard about this guy as soon as he touched down at Man United was, he's got no pace. That's the first thing they said, you know. That's the first thing they said. They weren't watching football, you know. They just said, this guy's slow. I had to hear that for like 3 months. He's slow. Is he slower than Marino? Absolutely not, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Marino's bagging goals, blood, because he's in a system that they know how to utilize him, bro. And he's almost a fourth midfielder.
Rants, I was fighting for my life, G. You know, I was as a Liverpool fan, I had to fight for my life with the Zirkzee thing. Fighting for my life with the Zirkzee thing. Now I'm not really hearing it. I'm not hearing it.
No, of course not. No, that chat's died.
I'm not hearing it now. Because now I was like, because you wanted to talk about Højlund. You wanted to give Højlund time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You wanted to see a lumberjack up top. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to see a lumberjack. Now you lot understand now. You don't hear him, you must feel in it.
Facts. And Abdiaziz, bro, not only has Marino proven you don't need pace, but he's proven that you don't even need to be a striker to score goals. The modern game is so system based now. You don't have to be a striker. All of like the attributes that you used to need to be a striker, it was because you had to rely on yourself to score goals. You didn't have a system.
Yeah, it was me
you had
versus
to rely
you.
on yourself. Yeah, it was you versus the centre back. You just getting into areas and trying to figure it out yourself. You don't need that no more, bro. The goals almost create themselves now. So now you just need to be in the area.
Exactly. So if you again, it's game intelligence. But why did it take Marino going up top for Arsenal for certain football fans to look at the game and go, oh, maybe like what? Do you know what I'm saying? Why did it take Marino going up front for Arsenal for man to realize you don't need to be of a certain to go and get goals, or do you know what I'm saying, or to make something work for the time being? I don't understand that. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me, honestly. Why it takes that for people to notice. Why it took that. It took Rasmus being this bad to notice that Zirkzee can kick ball. How dare you? How dare you?
Not just Rasmus being this bad, United being this bad. You know what I mean? I haven't seen a player turn around their narrative like Zirkzee done at Man United. I don't think I've seen a player that has been so disrespected yet actually turn into one of the fan favorites like in such a short period of time. I don't know if it's ever happened.
Bro, it's killing me, man.
I don't know. I don't know if it's ever happened, but it's like the amount of defense that man had to play when it came to Joshua Xerxes, and now people are saying, "Oh, Xerxes injured. We can't win the Europa League no more." I thought he was shit.
Yeah, weren't he shit?
I thought he was shit, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought Højlund was young, and he's got potential, and we need to give him time.
Potential.
Like, what's happened to all that?
Potential to give brain hemorrhages to those who watch him, because that's
this is what I'm saying, bro. It's mental.
Because that's what it is. I just can't fathom why it takes things like this for people to see that you don't need to be the ultimate Samuel Eto'o 95 pace 90 finish. There's only one Samuel Eto'o, right? Right, you know what I'm saying? And when a striker is fast, like they're not very good against low blocks.
Of course, because speed is low box nullifies speed, bro. Because without space, speed means nothing.
Exactly. This is the point,
and this is why you need more.
Yeah. So and let's be honest, low blocks are a lot more common in football than it's ever been.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. No one's going machine for machine really anymore.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. When you're playing when it's like Liverpool versus Chelsea or Man U versus Liverpool, then by all means, you know what I'm saying? But even in these type of games, you're seeing Man U sit deep against Liverpool now. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing top teams, maybe that, you're seeing teams sit deep. Man City have forced a number of top teams to sit. We've sat deep against Man City before. We've been there. We've all been there. We've had to do it. Where Pep's teams have been so good, you've had to go, you know what, man, them, if we go machine for machine, it's not ending well, innit? You can get embarrassed today. So this is where you look at it and go, I just think people are blinded by bias, and they're blinded by, I think it's just just a bit of common stupidity to think that a player, like, don't get me wrong, just because Mourinho's come in, does that make him the long-term replacement? No, not necessarily.
No, but he's now proven
option.
He can do a job there. So now he becomes even more of a valuable player in the squad, because now he's proven that he can do what Nketiah couldn't do. You know, like that. And he's not even a striker.
And give Arsenal a different dimension of playing. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an injury that forces them to play like that. It could be a style of play that they can go with. It could just be a tactical
change or something like that.
Yeah, just a tactical tweak now.
Goal up. You know what I'm saying? Just throw Mourinho up top. Do you know what I mean? So we've got an extra midfielder and we just, we just keep it compact, bro. Like it gives them other opportunities to manage football matches, innit? And bro, I can't lie. He didn't even cost that much, did he? He cost like 40 mil or something like that. Right at the moment, it's looking like money well spent. And we as a midfielder. And as a striker, it's looking at money well spent, bro. Because even if you spent 40 million on a striker and he was doing what he was doing now, it's enough. They didn't even buy him for that.
And arguably as well, it's not nothing crazy because Havertz was playing a similar role to Mourinho anyways.
Just not as good.
Just not as maybe in front of goal. You can see that Mourinho's a lot more comfortable as a finisher. Cool. Havertz will probably give you more in terms of mobility. He'll give you more as being a nuisance. But I think what Arsenal kind of needed was more of they needed more goals. I think Arsenal, what Havertz offers in his all-round gameplay, you already kind of have Jesus for that. When he was fit anyway, when he wasn't injured. You already had Gabriel Jesus to do that. You could do all of that. But what both of them have in common is they can't really score goals. Now, does that mean Mourinho is going to score you 30 goals a season? No, he's not going to score you 30 goals a season. But he's going to get you more goals than what you've had. And that ideally is what stops Arsenal from kind of getting across the line in a lot of situations.
And also look at the assists as well.
Yeah.
Look at his awareness, because he's naturally a midfielder. So he's got the awareness to pick a pass out, bro. And you're not going to get that from Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
So that's it. Mourinho showing out us Havertz, but this is the thing. So people made such a big deal about Havertz scoring, I think, 15 goals last season. But now you see how Mourinho's actually dealing with that position. It shows you that even more so, Havertz, like, bro, it was the team is the reason why he was scoring those goals. Because, bro, anyone that's half decent scores 15 goals in this Arsenal team.
Yeah.
They do. Do you know what I mean? And Marino's showing that. If he had a full season up front, I reckon he would have done that anyway, comfortably.
Yep. And this is it, man. So I just feel like, for me, I'm glad this humbling of Real Madrid happened, and it's about giving Barcelona their flowers as well. You know what I'm saying? As I said, just keep the same energy. When you don't want to be cussing off man in the Prem, when you want to be cussing off all these man, I want the same energy for these young Thundercats. Because when Lewandowski's mashing work, machine at 36, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Salah's machine at 32. And you've got these world beaters failing to, do you know what I'm saying? Showing us what they're showing us this season. Don't want to hear it, bro. Don't want to hear it. And I don't want to hear, and who have got better players around them. So better players all over the pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? Set up for success. Because that's what it is, Rants. Set up for success. You can't tell me Lewandowski was necessarily set up for success at 33 or at 35. Because he's won 2 titles, by the way. He won the other one. He won the other one with Xavi, right? He was there with Xavi, right?
Yeah, he must have been
33.
He must have been, yeah. He must have been there.
He was there, innit?
He was, and he wasn't. He was struggling a little bit.
We got 23 goals.
Yeah, but that was
That's him struggling.
That was him struggling. That was him declining, bro.
Yeah, right. And this is my point. So you can't tell me Lewandowski was primed for success there. You can't tell me certain man in the Premier League have been primed for success in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Maybe apart from Man City, who else really primed for success? You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's a game of football. And money isn't always going to be the be-all and end-all, as you've seen from Real Madrid, as you've seen from Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, innit? Like, that's my thing. And as I said, Real Madrid, final form Chelsea. And yeah, that's not even I'm not even trying to slate Chelsea like that. I'm just saying they're an extreme version of them.
Yeah. No, 100%. You're spot on with that one. How do you feel if Jurgen Klopp gets announced as the new Real Madrid manager, bro? Because the noise getting loud, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? And he conveniently is not happy where he is now.
Gonna make a lot of sense with a certain Scouser, isn't it, Rants?
Yeah.
Gonna make.
So what you trying? So you trying to say that is that your conspiracy now?
Well, Trent's not an emotional guy, and he looked very emotional on the final day last season. He even said himself, he ain't one. He's not a crybaby. He's not a very emotional guy. He ain't been crying after these games. When we won that champs, he just sat there in the corridor and looked at the medal. But when Klopp was leaving, bro was there, emotional, bro. You could see it. He was mad emotional. So I'm not saying that's the reason Trent's going to Madrid. It's just Klopp's on his way. But I don't think it's crazy. I wouldn't even say it's a conspiracy. I think conspiracy is too strong. Why were Madrid also partly looking? Why were Real Madrid partly interested in Van Dijk?
No idea.
You know what I'm saying?
That's okay, bro. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Klopp did give him a career, and Nathaniel Klein's vertebrae also gave him a career. but listen, I think there's probably something in that. I don't think it's the be all and end all as to why he signed. Do you know what I'm saying? But I done said this to Trent, bro. These your guys. This your king. You know when Killmonger had Black Panther, is this your king? You know what I'm saying? So I do think that, I mean, Klopp's like, he's like what is he? What's the name of his job at Leipzig?
I don't know, but it was.
He's high up in it.
He was like what? It's kind of. I think he might be doing what Ralph was doing or something like that.
He's like, he's not the technical. Is he the technical director?
No, he might be. He might be doing the Ranić job, blood. I feel like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I need to double check what it is that his exact.
But either way, there's rumors. Like, how can you not be happy with that job?
Oh, he's the head of global soccer. for Red Bull. For Red Bull. So it's not just Leipzig, it's
it's all of the Red Bull group. Yeah, I think that was what Ralph did.
Yeah. Head of global soccer. All right. So I mean, if Carlo does get sacked, Jurgen Klopp, the only thing I say about Jurgen Klopp going Real Madrid, these men are gonna have to get used to running a whole lot. Man, I have to do running they've never had to do before. But guess what?
But this is why I don't think he fits.
That, though. But if you look at it, it's funny though, because if you look at the Jurgen Klopp links to Real Madrid, who did Jurgen Klopp want before we got certain signings?
Yeah,
Jude Bellingham.
And Tchouaméni.
Tchouaméni was another one. I was gonna say Jude Bellingham, Tchouaméni. We've already spoken about the Trent thing. Jurgen Klopp has always wanted who? Kylian Mbappe. Remember in 2021, the Liverpool Kylian Mbappe thing, which turned out to be true. You know, you saw the news that come out about Mbappe in Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? So there's man at Real Madrid that Klopp really wanted. 3 guys there. That's arguably the spine. You know what I'm saying? So I think we'll see.
Facts about Valverde and Rodrigo as well. I think they fit. I think
Valverde definitely fits the Klopp.
I think midfield wise, I think he's going to be sport for choice. He's got his players there. Yeah,
but he's definitely going to get if Klopp was to come in, he's definitely going and getting a false 9. He's going and getting a false 9. I think he's learned from going and getting Darwin Núñez at Liverpool that he needs to go back to his false 9.
Yeah, I think he can make it work with Endrick. But I think Endrick's got the work rate. Do you know what I mean? He does run, and also he can finish.
Or Bobby,
man, like Bobby. You know what I'm saying? I think he deserves a chance, bro. I'll be real.
His touch is a bit baggy though.
I know, but Madrid have been so bad, in those areas.
He's got a few neat finishes though. His finishing is neat.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. He deserves a chance, bro.
What about 1088? What about him?
You're just on some trolling thing.
No, just no. I call him 1088 now because Arda Güler for me. Why can't I think he's technical enough? He's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, but not to play false 9.
No, maybe not to play false 9. But I'm saying 1088. I think he's probably the one. With the running? Would he get maybe pushed out wide? Maybe, I don't know. Would he get pushed out wide kind of thing?
I don't think he's got the off the ball attributes. No, I don't think he's got the off the ball attributes for Jurgen Klopp. I
reckon maybe they go and get like
he doesn't seem like a guy that you could make run. You know them ones. Arda Güler seems like a brother that just plays the way he plays, innit?
That is one thing Real Madrid have always liked to have, though. They always like to have a player that just plays the way they play. As I said, you've gone from Guti Hernandez, then you go to Mesut Ozil.
Isco.
You know what I'm saying? Isco is another one. You could say James Rodriguez when he was there. You know what I'm saying? And now obviously you got Arda Güler as well. So shout out Yildiz, man. Lock into Yildiz's thing, man. For those,
he's a baller.
Lock into his thing. He's a joke still. He's a joke. So I think it's one of them ones. The Jurgen Klopp thing is an interesting one for me. I'm probably gonna let it play out. Like I've got my own things to kind of sort out. Virgil van Dijk has come out with some quotes about Liverpool spending big again. But maybe he's been promised that, and maybe that's why he signed a new deal. But Rants, did I not remember we spoke about the Teddy Sheringham thing? Last Thursday, was it last week? Last show that we done, I said I was watching the Teddy Sheringham interview with Gary Neville, and he spoke about his conversations with Alan Sugar when he was at Tottenham. You know what I'm saying? When he was at Tottenham, and he was saying that he'd rather stay at Spurs and have them bring in top players rather than
go to a top team.
Yeah, and obviously, on Alan Sugar's side, Alan Sugar told him to not to suck himself, but you get it. Yeah. Who do you think you are, mate? You're telling you to do what? So he said, "Cool, I'll go United then. I'll go United then. Where they got top player, I'll go United then." You know what I'm saying? I think that conversation has been I said, and no, like it's documented. I've had that conversation. I believe Virgil's had that conversation, and Salah's had that conversation because Virgil's already come out while Jurgen Klopp was there, was spoken about how the squad needs to be backed. They got a great spine, but the squad needs to be improved. He's come out and said that before. You know what I'm saying? When he's been asked about signings. So I believe that's a conversation upstairs that was had within the contract. Now, again, promises aren't always promised. We'll say that.
Damn right.
Players are promised they're going to get X amount of minutes and don't play. You know what I'm saying? We've heard many players have come out and spoken in interviews of what they were promised and what they, they were going to do this, they were going to do that, they were going to be played here, and that the very opposite has probably happened. I'm pretty sure Iago Aspas was promised certain things when he came to Liverpool. It didn't last very long. You see what I'm saying? So as much as I like hearing from the players, because this is the first time I've ever heard the players say there's going to be a busy summer, or the manager say it's going to be a busy summer. Jurgen Klopp's never said that. He's never ever come out and said that in his 9 years at Liverpool. That it's going to be a busy summer. Never. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Slot said it, the fact that Virgil said it, it's nice to hear, but I like actions. A lot of man said
I don't think it's going to be busy in terms of loads of players in, loads of players out, though. But I think that
the right signings.
Yeah, you will target the right signings. There might be like 2 or 3 players that
I got trust.
Like, yo, I have to strengthen here. I believe a
everyone
striker,
knows, man.
Probably one of them.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, is he gonna try and drag another year out of Robertson? Like, I would hope not. If I was a Liverpool fan,
don't even say those words to me.
I hear it. Do you know what I mean? And do you replace Trent, or do you just promote your young G? You probably promote the young G.
I think Conor Bradley is ready to have a season.
I think so.
And you have January. If it's an emergency and he plays that bad, January is always the emergency backup. Me, I'm always a bit out there. I'm not always out there, but I'm out there with certain things. I would have had Szoboszlai and Bradley as the rotating. Still use Szoboszlai as a midfielder, but I like Mourinho's used as a striker for Arsenal. I'd use Szoboszlai as a rotating right back if needed. For me, I'd have that. I'd be trying that in preseason, and obviously Kirkes is one I'd like to bring in. Hato is one I'd look at bringing in if you can't get Kirkes as a left back, left centre back. Housen, I know you've been looking at him, but for me, I think the left back is a massive priority. I think another 6 is a priority just because McAllister and Grav, for me, were undeniably the best 2 in the league up until about January/February. But there was a drop off. There's been a drop off because they can't play the whole season. It's not normal for man to just play the whole season. That's why Liverpool's success was never sustained, because you just can't have man playing for the whole season. Pep Roulette ruled all over certain amounts of time, which is why this was never our era. It was City's era where we managed to nick a couple prems off them. Yeah. So for me, I'd go get a striker, bring in Kirkes at left back, promote Conor Bradley, and get Cherky in the 10. And get another 6. And the 6 doesn't have to be Tchouaméni, Camavinga. You get it doesn't have to
be a big name. It could just be someone that's fit for purpose.
You can go get Edison from Atalanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he's not cheap either, brother. You know what I mean? We've been linked with Edison, and they're talking about 50 million.
Yeah, I think 50 million is not a bad price, to be fair. But do you know what I'm saying? I think if you get a Cherky, you need to go and get a midfielder that is willing to be in that pivot 6/8 role that we play in behind the 10. I think if you don't want to go and get a 10 and you want to prioritize a striker, then the manager has to show more trust in Harvey Elliott.
I hear that.
That's you know what I'm saying? If you're going to show more trust in Harvey Elliott, I understand. He feels if Harvey Elliott goes in the 10, he feels there's going to be a gaping hole in the midfield. That's what you can tell that's what the manager thinks. That's fine. Go and get a 6 that's going to fill that hole. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a few guys out there on the radar for me. I don't want to talk about signings too much. I just want to know that, Lavia and Caicedo are going to be giving me that guard of honor.
I hear it.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. But again, I think that PSG game versus Arsenal is going to be a very, very, very significant game of football. I can't wait to see. I think even though PSG probably defensively is more suited to an attack that Arsenal can actually go and maybe dominate the game, Arsenal going to want to try and dominate them because PSG are a bit more open. But PSG, the way how hard it is to get the ball off them, you know what I'm saying? Someone just said Cherky low ball IQ in the chat. Mods, sorry, in fact, no, let me not do that. That's too far. Sorry, my Twitch fiber went there, guys. My Twitch fiber went there for a second. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So yeah, that was uncalled for. HR, that was uncalled for.
It's lies though. You know the low ball IQ. He has not got low ball IQ. Some of the passes this guy does, he plays. You can't play those passes if you got low IQ.
That was petty from me. Yeah, that was mad petty. I stepped out of my comfort zone just then. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no. Yeah, I just feel like hold on, once I got hidden from BSB saying something from Kaz because he was calling viewers. Yash. I'll unhide you if you were still hidden. Yeah, I'll pattern that. Don't worry, I'll pattern that because man can't be. Yeah, I'll pattern that. But yeah, no, I feel like because what I saw against Villa, I know you done a watch along to the Villa game. I wasn't tuned in for that particular watch along, but even though Villa done very well, and I think taking off Rashford actually probably killed the game a little bit. I do feel like
Rashford was warm then. You know them ones. Like first half he was crap. You know them ones.
First half he was crap.
First half he was crap, but you know what it is, yeah? When a player's in a good spell, you give them more time. Like you just do it. Like as a manager, you're supposed to feel the momentum of the game.
Should have taken off Rodgers.
Yeah, but Rodgers is one of them players. He's known Rodgers for longer, and he just trusts him. You know what I mean? So he's like, I'll take off Rashford first. I get it, but Rashford was starting to really get into the game, innit? You could see.
You saw the fear factor from PSG as well. Every time Rashford got the ball, you know there's a difference between when a player gets the ball, where the defenders swarm, and where the defenders actually back off. There's a difference. And ask any defender, when a player makes the backline kind of back off, you can see kind of that, right, cool. We need to think now you get it. You need to have that extra sort of thought to kind of nullify whatever it is he's going to do. And when you're in a good way, as you said, you can't make I as a player, as an attacker, I've had a shit first half before. And then second half's kicked off. And for 20 minutes, I'm causing hell. Causing hell, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if I get taken off in the 75th minute, I'm fucking livid. I'm livid, bro, if that happens to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I know any player, but if you're in a good way and you get taken off, especially if the player that comes on doesn't make the impact, go look at the manager, man. Go look at the manager. But at the same time, PSG were having fun. I know.
They were pissing about. They weren't taking the game serious, bro. If they were taking the game serious, I don't believe they concede some of those goals, bro. They were playing with no care in the world. Like they were doing stuff that they didn't need to do. Dangerous things.
Yeah, and Emi Martinez still had to make a few saves at that near post. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, I was so on Hakimi, and you could feel Ousmane Dembele's frustration from outside of the stadium when he did not play that pass. You know, man jumped in the air and did this, and then carried on running to go chip the keeper. He jumped in and he did this one because he's like, "Why did you bro? I'm in my own half. Why are you delaying?"
Yeah. He took the extra touch. He didn't need to. If he just plays that one touch earlier, he's through, you know.
And he's in his own half. Like, man, he's slowing down, trying to slow down, and he's still not, bro. That from Hakimi, you know, bro. Dembele was in about 3-4 times in that game, and the ball, and you could actually see him throwing his hands up. I think the commentator said Dembele was fuming, but I really like the role Dembele.
You can see after the game as well, blood. My man, they're trying to give him the man of the match thing. Man just walked off the pitch, bro. He didn't even want it.
Yeah, he was fuming, bro.
He was fuming, bro.
Absolutely fuming, bro. You know what I'm saying? And rightly so with Dembele. But I really do like the role he's playing in that false nine.
He's matured a lot, bro. And even though it's not really an out and out false nine because they all rotate, like he's showing a lot of maturity because he was a player that used to get the ball, always want to take players on. Now he's starting to get his head up and pick out passes, and he's really matured a lot.
And you know what it is? As I said, you know me. I know how you feel about Ousmane Dembele. I've rated him quite highly. For me, I acknowledge that he's hot and cold, but he was one of Barcelona's best players before 6 months. But his last 6 to 8 months at Barcelona was exceptional. But no one ever talks about it. I just think people are so much louder with Dembele about his shortcomings, and I understand why, because of his talent and because of his price tag. That 140, whatever it was, he costed.
That was when them times as well. That was crazy, man.
In them times, and the thing is that Dembele, what separated Dembele from so many other wingers was that he actually had the passing of a number 10. And because he was both footed and could pass like a 10, but he's rapid and can shoot. Well, he was rapid and could strike a ball. I don't want to say he can finish because being able to strike a ball and finish is two different things. But he had everything, ideally. And the fact that you can even see it now, people are surprised that he's playing those balls through the lines and the weight of pass is almost perfect. He's always go look at his time at Dortmund. He's always had that. It's maturing and knowing and keeping it consistent. He's always had the ability to pass the ball very well. His passing's always been very good, but his snapshots skew wide too often, or he blasts it over the bar. You know what I'm talking about, the indecisiveness that we talk about and for large parts of a season, maybe on top of the injuries. And people forget that Dembele has had the injury-ridden career. It's just that because these last 3 years, he's managed his body a lot better. People kind of use the revisionism to say he's always been a certain way. But he has had a lot of injuries. And I feel like because maybe he stayed fit for so long now, I feel like that's also helped him to be less up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he's getting more consistency of game time.
Yeah. And I think it's about now turning that talent into consistency. He's been consistent for about,
he's at that age now.
Yeah, he's 27.
He needs to just be putting in these consistent performances. And to be fair, he seems like he's doing that.
Yeah, he's 27 now, so it's as you said, it's about time. And he's been performing well for, I'd say, about 18 months now, consistently. And he had the 8 months prior to that at Barcelona. So you could arguably say last 2.5 years, he's actually been pretty good.
Yeah. And especially in 2025, his numbers are nuts.
Yeah. So obviously we don't know what the next season's going to hold or what the rest of this season will hold. But if he carries on the way he's carrying on, I think the apologies need to be as loud as the disrespect, man.
I hear it, people. Hey, make sure you run up these likes, man. We're off the target. But nah, man, big up. What's your day saying anyway? We got coming up.
I just put out a Newcastle video, so I'll probably let me just drop the link. I'll drop the link because I'm not going live after this.
Calm.
So I've dropped a Newcastle video. I was supposed to drop it yesterday, but I had to go watch the extended highlights because the game was at the same time as the Arsenal game, innit? Yeah. So I had to go watch the extended highlights first before I part of the video. But yeah, I've got obviously doing a watch along with the boys. Tottenham, it's a Tottenham and Man United dual watch along. Not necessarily a hate along because the Man are going to be there, innit? Which is lit. And then after that, we got the Man United match. Same thing. Match reaction at 10 as usual. We're 18 subscribers away from 16,500. So yeah, you lot subscribe. Let's get to 16.5K, man. We're literally 18 away. I think that's something that can happen today, in my opinion. So yeah, man, that's today's thing, innit? So that's today's schedule. So.
Wavy. So yeah, man, big up everyone inside. Let me know who's live that we can bless with a redirect, people. Should be back at 6 with Marv, and then
it's in the chat as well.
And then United. You know what I'm saying? Then we got United later. I'm not even flipping.
Yeah, he's gassed.
Bro.
By the way, just quickly as well, Rants, what do you make of the whole world-class tag now getting thrown after these 2 games against Madrid? Because I've been castrated for calling.
Arsenal don't have any world-class players, and it's okay. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of world-class players in the game at the moment, bro. When I'm looking at the level of these players, bro, I'll be honest. But yeah, Arsenal don't have any world-class players. So it's just one of them ones. It's not even a disrespect to them, bro. I don't think there's a lot of world-class players in the game at the moment. I think we're seeing a lot of system robots at the moment, guys that are just doing a job. Like, do you know what I mean? As much as I give Marino a lot of respect and credit for what he's doing, the fact that he's doing what he's doing in this Arsenal team, it's not because he's an amazing striker. It's not that. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. It's because he's fit for purpose.
Yeah,
in that system, that's all it is. It's fit for purpose, man. A lot of these guys are fit for purpose, bro. A lot of these footballers, bro. But I'm not going with, I'm not going with this whole world class thing because man say, Saliba's world class, bro. But for me, he's not even better than Gabriel. So it's just one of those things, bro. Like it is what it is, man. I think the game now is just about the system. It's not even about the players anymore. Like the players in this modern game are not that good. As on a whole, blood. Even when I'm looking at Vinny and Mbappe, and Jude Bellingham, bro. Jude Bellingham's on a Ballon d'Or nominee, but he's not a world-class player. He's not. He's nowhere near it either. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones where I don't agree with this world-class tag.
They're trying to push the world-class tag on Saka, and I can understand why some Arsenal fans are going to say that You know what I'm saying? They're going to put that one forward. But as I said, it's the same Arsenal fans that were fuming at Cole Palmer's world-class tag after his 18, his really good 18 months at Chelsea. So, you know, it's a bit, you know, I think self-awareness is free, innit?
No, I hear it. You know what I mean? So no, one performance doesn't make you world-class. It never will, innit? And I just
and people keep on saying done it, that they've done it in this competition. Do you mean done it or won it? What is done it? He's done it in this competition. He's done it in that competition. You can perform in a game in a big competition, but there's done it and there's won it. You know, and there's doing it to carry on doing it. So you know what I'm saying? You get it.
For me, world-class players, bro. If you put them in any team, in any system, you see what they're about, innit? Like that's just it. Like for me, there's so many question marks over a lot of these players.
Yeah,
there's so many questions.
If Arsenal win the Champions League, listen, if they win the Champions League, bro, I'll give Saka the world class. I'll give, you know what I'm saying? For me, if he balls out and wins the Champions League, because for me, when Liverpool won the Champions League, I would call certain players world class. I just think people need to distinguish their own. Everyone has a different world class metric, and I think what people need to understand is that fans are always going to call certain players of their own team world class before they're actually world class, because that's just player bias. And I just think a lot of people don't know how to accept that it's their player bias that is preempting a player from being world class in their eyes, as opposed to rival fans. It's just as simple as that, you know. So, but yeah, it's
100%.
Look at Mane 18-19 or Saka right now, like, you see what I'm saying?
Well, exactly. It's not comparable. It's not comparable, and this is my thing. That's why, like, we shouldn't do those things, because
that's golden boot Mane, by the way.
Yeah, because like when you've got like world-class players, and then you compare them to other world-class players, if the gap between them is too big, then one of them's not world-class, innit? Do you know what I mean? When people are saying, "Oh, Rants, what about Scholes and Xavi and Modric?" The reason why we can have these conversations is because they're all so good that it's super fine margins, bro. Like when we're comparing some of these players, like the margins are they're very far from fine. Do you know what I'm saying? So when man are saying Declan Rice is world class, when man could easily name 10 better midfielders than him, like it's not fine margins, bro. Like none of the top midfielders in the game that Arsenal fans would want, is Rice close to in ability. He's not close to any of them. Like, so how can he be world class? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. So it's a silly argument. That this is what it is, unfortunately. And that's just in this era. If we're talking about other eras, it gets worse. It gets worse. So I don't want to see the world-class stuff, man. Just enjoy your win, bro. You get me? Because Mourinho got 2 assists. He's a world-class striker now. Because over the 2 legs, he scored a great game. He scored a great goal and he got 2 assists. He got 3 GA in 2 games against Liverpool. I mean, against Real Madrid.
From Mourinho.
Yeah. So what is he? So he's world class now.
You know what I'm saying?
By their logic, he is. You know what I mean? By their logic, he is. And this is what it is, bro. Man just need to allow the world class chat and just enjoy the football. You know? Just enjoy the football. So yeah, man. Listen, guys. Big up everyone inside. We're gonna redirect to Faz. Do you know what I'm saying? You lot drop a raid in the chat, and I'll see you guys back here in a few hours.